Okay, so welcome to our second class from our Zero to Hero challenge. Today, we're just going to do a nice, gentle flow where we get to stretch a little and strengthen a little, really in like a gooey kind of snuggly kind of a way. That's usually what I say when I'm trying to like cushion the blow that's later, but truly today's going to be nice. Because it is actual yoga we'll be doing today, we'll start in child's pose or virasana, hero pose if you like, or I really recommend child's pose if that's available to you. So that would be toes together and knees either together or apart, whatever is comfortable, and then forehead to the floor or a block. So take a moment to set yourself up, or if you want to do cross-legged seated, if Balasana child's pose isn't available to you, go ahead and find whatever position is comfortable for you today. And take those moments to get settled in, just a couple deep breaths as you slowly stop fidgeting. And it's okay to kind of move and sort of wiggle into your spot. And once you find it, deep inhale and then exhale. Allow yourself to sink just a little bit deeper. Taking all the time you need to get settled in. And when you're there, closing the eyes, and in any yoga challenge, a fun thing to do is to, with your eyes closed, focus on whatever part of the body is making contact with the floor, with the earth. This is why I particularly like Balasana Child's Pose, because you can feel that space, our third eye, if you will, on your block or the floor. And over time, we start to develop a neurological connection. So right now, if you can think about where your body makes contact with the earth, if you are in child's pose, think about that forehead area and just feel it. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, that's my forehead and there's the earth. As you're there, see if you can relax into this space. Softening the breathing a little. And from here, take a moment to set an intention for your practice. There are so many benefits to yoga, so just picking one of them. Maybe that'll be the intention for your entire challenge, or maybe your intention will change from day to day. Either way, picking one for the day. From here, take 3 slow, deep breaths through the nose. At your own pace, take all the time you need until all 3 deep breaths are complete. Don't rush it. When all 3 deep breaths are complete, maybe that's now, maybe it's in a few more moments, begin to make your way through hands and knees. Again, maybe that's not yet. Tuck your toes under. Heading up and back to our first downward facing dog. We'll be here for a little while, so take all the time you need. Maybe walking it out a little. I know my knees and ankles sound a little bit like Rice Krispies right now, and that's okay. Sometimes walking it out feels nice. Sometimes just shifting the hips from side to side nice and slow feels nice. And allowing all the tension to dissipate, let it go away. And then start to walk the feet forward all the way to the top of your mat, landing in a forward fold so the feet are parallel like skis. And let the head hang here. Just a couple deep breaths and allow the spine to decompress. So we're feeling space between each vertebra. If there's a little bit of too much of a pull in the low back, feel free to bend the knees so that you can feel that stretch in the backs of the legs. Maybe the legs are straight. Maybe there's a little bend. Couple deep breaths. And then slowly start to ragdoll, one vertebra at a time, all the way up to standing. And if you're not already there, come on up to the top of your mat, heels and toes together. So top would be at the very top. My camera is situated so the top of my mat's cut off, so I'm not quite there, but that's where we like to begin our practice. I like to do a couple little fidgety little snaps, crackles, and pops. Pulling up of the yoga pants. That's part of the routine. And away we go. So starting in Tadasana mountain pose. Your mountain pose is the foundation of everything. So really allowing that lift all the way up. So it starts from the feet, a little bit of dual energy, pressing down into the feet as the belly gently scoops in and lifting up all the way through the crown of the head. At the same time, fingertips, all fingers together to direct the energy, palms facing the body, but not collapsing. So we're open. Fingertips reaching for the floor. Doesn't that feel amazing? Crown of the head reaching for the sky, fingertips reaching for the floor. Let's flow. Inhale, raise the arms up and just take a second here. I know the camera isn't showing my arms, but if you are able to keep the palms together, that builds strength in the shoulders. If you need the arms stepped apart, feel free. Trying not to arch through the back though. Keep the belly scooped in. Ribs are softening in towards the body. Couple deep breaths here. One more inhale to lengthen here. On the exhale, gliding forward, so nice and smooth. Use your glutes. This will be a theme throughout our whole challenge as we try to build strength in the right places in our body. Use the glutes to descend all the way down to your standing forward bend. So using glutes all the time, that's like the first reoccurring theme. The second one, there's only two. When we forward fold, we all do it. We look at our toes and go, oh, look at that. If I could just multitask and do a little mini pedicure here, well, then that's great. While I'm doing my yoga practice, stop it. This is not the time. Close your eyes. And if they're not perfect, it's okay. They're perfect just the way they are. Even if they're unmanicured, let it go. Couple deep breaths here. looking up to the horizon for a flat back. So we're using our glutes for this. Squeeze the glutes as we look up to the horizon and even draw your shoulder blades together and down the back. And release. Hopefully we felt a little bit of strength in our mid-back there. From here, bend the knees, plant the hands. We'll send our right foot back. So we'll head into a classical sun salutation here. Gently lower your back knee down, untuck the toes. And before we head into our Anjaneyasana, just coming up like lazy-like, because this is fun. This yoga challenge is going to be fun and kind of chill. We will work, but it won't feel like work. And that's the beauty of it. Okay, so feel the stretch, melting the hips down into the floor. Take a couple moments here. I always feel when I go really slow on a sun salutation, I feel kind of like a cat. If you've ever seen a cat in the sunshine, they kind of like, they just do like weird little movements. They look so much more graceful than I do, but that's okay. And this is why I love yoga. You don't have to be graceful. Bonus. And I just felt my hips sink just a little bit more right there. So allowing, especially if it's been a while, allow those hips to melt down, not too far, ever. And then we'll bring the arms up for our Anjaneyasana low lunge pose. Sinking, melting those hips. One fine day, the hips will totally reach the floor. And then heading down through lunge. Let's take our time. So the hands are just slightly wider than shoulders width apart. Since we're doing this 40 days in a row, let's be sure our hands are in the right position. What we mean by that is we're not internally rotating them, kind of like that bulldog look, or externally rotating like penguins. Fingers facing forward. And a little bit of weight into the roots of the index fingers. Thumbs aren't splayed out wide. That's hard on our ligaments. So just like a little bit. The fingers are kind of spread wide. Every time we say like fingers spread wide, people go too far. So I'm not going to say that anymore. Just natural. And then tuck the back toes under, straighten up that back leg, and then belly scoops in. So let's get proper movement here. Even myself, I need reminding. Belly scoops in to bring that front foot back to plank. Belly scooping in even more, shoulders away from the ears, heading into our really awkward pose. Knees, chest, chin. Hips stay high for Ashtanga Pranam. Trying to get a bit of an arch in the mid-back. If you don't feel awkward here, you're probably not doing it quite right, but that's okay. We're going to come up into the belly or onto the belly. And then this is just a baby cobra. So point the toes. Let's squeeze the legs together. Squeeze the shoulder blades back and down, shoulders away from the ears. It's a little teeny baby cobra where I could no hands. Little baby cobra. Couple deep breaths here. Feel that back body strength. We're still just pretty chill about things, but we're still starting to activate those muscles that are going to get stronger and stronger over time. And release. From here, try not to arch the back. Push the floor away, coming up through hands and knees. Tuck the toes under, hips press up and back to our downward facing dog. We'll take a few moments here. Couple deep breaths. From here, we'll step the right foot forward. Back knee gently lowers down, untuck the toes. Same thing again. Instead of full Anjaneyasana, let's just bring the arms up so we can feel like we're just hanging out. And allow the hips to melt down. Maybe a little bit of a little wiggle. As we allow the hips to soften and melt down, feeling that stretch. Again, if it's been a while, this feels amazing, but we need a little bit of extra time if it's been a while since we've done our yoga practice. From here, we'll head down through lunge. This time the back foot will step all the way forward. So I like to start by tucking my back toes under and I get my knee up off the ground. And then if you need a little grunt to kind of, that's totally acceptable. Landing with the feet parallel, looking up to the horizon for flat back. So again, we're using the glutes. And then squeeze the shoulder blades together and down the back. Just a couple moments here. Feel the glutes. Feel that space between the shoulder blades working. And then release. Let those spaces relax. Engaging the glutes, looking up through the horizon as we come on all the way up. And then heading back to Tadasana Mountain Pose. We'll head into the other side. Inhale, arms go up just a little bit quicker this time. On the exhale, gliding forward, nice and smooth. On the inhale, looking up to the horizon, use the glutes. And release. This time the left foot steps back. So we'll slow it down a little bit here. Again, so left foot steps back, gently lower the back knee down, untuck the toes. Coming up to Anjaneyasana, but we'll hold. So I've got my palms together. If you need some space, that's okay. Really trying eventually, even if the arms are bent, trying to get those palms together. Otherwise, straightening through the arms, letting the hips sink and melt down towards the floor. And then we head down through lunge, remembering our good habit. We're trying to create good habits in this course. So scoop the belly in, tuck the back toes under, belly scoops in to bring the front foot back to your strong plank. From here, remembering that awkward position, knees, chest, chin. So arch the back until it's awkward and weird and just strange. But we're not here long. Feel that stretch in the back and then scoop through to the belly. Peel the chest off the floor for your baby cobra. No hands. Feeling that strength, feeling the glutes as well. But like, I always look like Einstein after my yoga practice without the extra IQs, but it's okay. And then release, pressing up and back to your downward facing dog. Try to use that arm strength. Belly scoops in to lift the hips up and back. Couple deep breaths here. One kind of fun thing to do in your down dog is once you've checked your alignment and your feet are parallel and you're pressing a little bit into the roots of the index fingers, yada, 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 think about the belly. And if you don't just pull it in, but if you allow it to scoop in, kind of feels like a vacuum. If you let the belly scoop in, just try that for a sec. Let the belly scoop in and up. So you're not using it, but it's like a vacuum a little bit. That motion is really good for digestion. And from here, send the left foot forward. Back knee gently lowers, untucking the toes. Come on up for Anjaneyasana on that second side. And allow the hips to melt down towards the floor. Couple deep breaths, sinking and melting. And release the hands down to your lunge. This time back foot steps forward. So let's try not to use very much momentum, but if we do, it's fine. It's video number 2. Be chill about it. So in order to try to start that ability to not use momentum, we tuck the toes under and scoop the belly in. So it's just the core, pulling the back foot forward all the way into flat back. So squeezing the shoulder blades together, squeezing the glutes. Just a couple moments here to feel that strength. And release. And then come on all the way up, reaching up high, getting taller. And release to mountain. Heading into just one sun salutation A. Just one, because we can, because this is just day 2. So let's be really, there's going to be a really brilliant word I was going to use, but I don't have one. So let's just be really slow and take it easy with this one, okay? So we'll inhale, raise the arms way up high. On the exhale, gliding forward, remember to use your glutes. See, we're already halfway done the sun salutation. Inhaling for a flat back. Use the glutes, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and release. Heading back to plank. So belly scoops in, we press down into the floor, send the feet back. Try not to move the shoulders back. Keep your shoulders forward over the wrists. This time, chaturanga. So maybe you want to lower the knees down first. I do. It's day 2, so we can. And then chaturanga, hover. Suddenly I've got because we're detoxing. So this is awesome. Squeezing the feet together and then peel the chest off the floor. This one can be a little bit deeper. Bhujangasana, cobra pose. So maybe your arms get all the way straight, maybe they don't. Don't go too far, just until you feel a little tiny stretch. Heart melts forward though, so we're not trying to hairpin at the low back. We're trying to have a nice even curve throughout the spine. And then when you release your cobra, so this will be throughout our whole challenge, try to use your back strength. It's almost like your back's like, no, stay up here, but your arms are like, no, we're coming down now. Does that make sense? Like your back's like, no, we don't want to get out of cobra. Your arms are like, too bad. I don't always argue with myself. And then up and back to downward facing dog. Maybe walking it out once again. I don't always argue with myself, but when I do, I do. Heart reaching towards the feet for a nice shoulder stretch. Heels reaching down towards the ground. And then send the feet forward all the way to the top. Inhaling for flat back. And exhale, forward fold. On the inhale, use your glutes coming all the way up, reaching up high, getting taller. And release back to mountain. Pausing for just a moment before we do sun salvi. I started drinking fennel tea. If you're like, why does this have anything to do with yoga? It doesn't. So I started drinking fennel tea because I like it because it tastes like licorice. And I was reading on the box, it says it's used as an expectorant, which I'm like, Google. So that's like if you have the and you're feeling congested, it'll help to detox, bring that up. So I do have the now, but I didn't have them before though. Like I wasn't congested before. So does it really work to help expel what's already there, or does it just make it? And then you're, right? I don't know. If anyone knows anything about fennel tea, let me know. But it tastes good, so I'm gonna work with it. Sun Sal B. Feet together, big toes together. Bend the knees deeply, sweeping the arms. What we want to do here is use the glutes and draw the arms back. So this one's a bit harder to get the palms together, but if you can, extra challenge for the shoulders. So if you're like, yeah, I'm up for that extra challenge, great. If you're like, yeah, I can, but I have to bend my elbows, that's okay too. Straightening them as much as you can as you draw the arms back. On the exhale, gliding forward, relax all that back body strength. Squeeze the glutes and the shoulder blades together as you look up to the horizon for flat back. And release. Heading back to plank, strong plank, scooping the belly in. Maybe lower the knees first, maybe not, before your chaturanga. Inhaling for cobra or maybe an up dog if you like. And heading up and back. If you're cobra-ing, release first. If you're an up dog, you can go straight up and back to your downward facing dog. When we're doing Sun Sal B, we don't pause there. We step the right foot forward. Back heel spins down to the ground. Come on up for warrior one. We'll take just a moment here, trying to draw the front hip back, bending through the front leg. Back leg is straight, and drawing the arms back, 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 back. Couple deep breaths. And then we'll head down through lunge. Heading back through plank. Same choice for knees as you lower, chaturanga. Inhaling for cobra or up dog. And exhaling for downward facing dog. Just taking a moment. We're not really here for very long. All we're doing there is squaring things up before we head forward with the left foot Back heel spins down to the ground. Sweep the arms up for warrior one on that second side. So our front hip is pulling back, squaring it all up to the front, drawing the arms back, 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 back. And then we head down through lunge. Stepping it back through plank. Remember, keep your shoulders forward. Belly scoops in to bring that front foot back. And then lowering chaturanga. Inhaling up. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Or I've got the and squeaks now. Back to downward dog or child's pose. Just a couple deep breaths here. If you're in down dog, maybe walking it out. And then send the feet forward all the way to the top of your mat. Inhaling for flat back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, using the glutes on the exhale. Forward fold. Feet together, big toes together. Bend the knees, sweep the arms, draw them back, 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 back. Last chair pose. And standing tall for Tadasana Mountain Pose. That, my friends, is all for today. We did a classical sun salutation. We did a sun cell A. We did a sun cell B. That was a little gentle flow. And we got a little warm at the end. Let's prepare for your Shavasana. Okay, so sometimes the yoga practice is just that. When you're ready, grabbing your teddies, your blankies, whatever you need to feel cozy. And laying back. As always, if your back needs a little extra support, feel free to keep the knees bent with the feet on the floor. You can allow the knees to tip in towards each other. Otherwise, extending arms and legs, palms facing up, and closing the eyes. Softening everything. But especially through the neck and the shoulders and all the way down the arms. Letting the fingers softly curl. Softening the face. Softening around the eyes. And even that space between the eyes. Letting it all go. Maybe even taking a moment here to feel where the ground meets your body in your Shavasana, just like we did in centering. Feeling the temperature on your skin. Allowing your entire body to feel heavy. And starting to come back. If you like. If you'd like to stay here a little longer, feel free. Otherwise, wiggling fingers and toes. Gently roll your head from side to side. Then reaching your arms above head on the floor for a big stretch, feeling totally refreshed. And bending your knees. Gently roll over to the right side. And then pause there for a few moments. It's really nice on the body to slowly come out of our Shavasana. It lets our blood pressure regulate once we're on that right side. This gives your body a moment to settle in. And then when you feel ready, take your time. If you need a little more time on that right side, hang out there for a moment. If you feel ready, start to press yourself all the way up to a comfortable seated position, taking all the time you need. But when you arrive, palms facing up on the knees, inhale, sitting up tall, and exhale, softly close the eyes. Taking those final moments to thank yourself for showing up to your mat today and taking care of you. And another few moments remembering your intention, bringing it back to the beginning of class. What was your intention? Why are you here? What benefits do you hope to gain? Feeling that. Knowing that you're one step closer. And slowly open the eyes. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on day 2. You know the drill. Either keep going if that is uploaded yet, or wait for tomorrow, or even the next day. Either way, drink plenty of water and really be kind to you. I'll see you next time. Namaste.